All right, you guys
Also,
are on your
I have
way
that.
to the Yomi Nebula. You are mass relaying there before the council has a chance to do anything about it. At this point, you're already like halfway there. You're not even in council space anymore. At this point, you're probably like mass relaying through the edge of the Attican Traverse. You know it's going to take you through Terminus space to get to the Yomi Nebula because it is all the way on the opposite end of the galaxy. It's right on the edge. It is teetering on the brink of basically not even being in the galaxy anymore. It is like all the way out in the periphery.
We would crush them this
So,
time around.
Each mass relay jump takes a bit of time. I'm gonna go with Sean saying I think you said it was like 20 to 30 minutes or something like that at one point. I'm just gonna believe you.
Yeah.
Because he knows the lore better than I do.
Yeah, because to go from the Citadel to the final mission in Mass Effect 1, it takes 2 hours, and there's 4 jumps, so it's about 30 minutes a jump.
Nice. I like how you broke that down like game theory style. Alright. So, yeah. You guys are making your jumps to the Yomi Nebula. So far, you've not been interrupted. You haven't been caught in some scrapper trap or anything like that. So you are on board the Saratoga. You've got maybe an hour remaining before you arrive. The last time you visited the Yomi Nebula, it was completely inside of Amos's massive biotic field, which had rendered the entire system basically pitch black. Theoretically, Amos is now in a different star system, so the Yomi Nebula should actually be visible, and you should be able to reach the station. But there's no telling what you're going to find here. It's kind of where everything started. This is where Amos entered.
You say theoretically he shouldn't be there anymore, and that worries me.
Well, it's what you guys think, anyway.
We've yet to test this theory, so it is still just a theory.
Fantastic.
A game theory.
Okay, we're testing it now.
So glad I'm not the only one whose brain went right there for that.
I mean, it's gonna be weird actually being able to see this place, isn't it?
That would be an understatement, yeah. Oh.
Aaron's gonna walk out to the officer's mess up here and she'll say across the table, Dr. Jackbar, what do we do with this?
I'm not privy to all the details, Spectre, but if Eli Ulzik, or at least a Dr. Ulzik, has betrayed us, he is too dangerous to allow to live.
I know, we try to take him alive if possible. I need to at least get into his thoughts to see what exactly is going on in there. But I mean, with Adam, we're on a clock from the council now.
I misunderstood. Personally, I would not have shared that information with them.
I know. I broke the golden rule, and that is to shield the council from information that they don't need to know. But now they know. So he was your project. How do we convince them that Reprotect can be used for good? After all, Reprotect is used in rebuilding the relays. So why not this? They don't even know that it's being used in an AI. They don't know the nature of what it is.
Spectre, with all due respect, I am an engineer. If you put a technical problem in front of me, I can probably solve it. This is outside of my skill set.
Well, the council was going to find out about your project eventually. What was your plan for that?
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
No, they
Our
were.
plan was for them to find out about our project when our project saved the galaxy from an imminent threat, at which point we would have a significantly better position to argue for it after having saved everyone's lives. Furthermore, the people who would argue for it would not be me. They would be people who are actually good at arguing for things.
I see.
I'm a scientist. I've never been very good at convincing people of anything. The plan was for the project to remain completely secret indefinitely until it was needed, and then after it was needed, we would be in a better position to make that case.
Well, not to worry. The council doesn't know the full details of the project. They don't even know who it's linked to. Does your counselor even know about it?
I believe he's aware, but he knows the ramifications for our people if he were to let that go.
Well, I suppose we stick to the plan of saving the galaxy, then. We'll just have to do it without council support for the time being.
I mean, to be fair, if we save the galaxy now with Adam's help, it's just the original plan.
I do believe that if the Adam were to help us save the galaxy, you would probably have an advantageous platform to make your case.
All right.
Aryn, I actually had a thought about possibly getting some additional information on the catalyst.
Oh, what's that?
What if we see if we can contact Admiral Reach? I don't know if the Alliance would have any more information, but a lot of what my mother went through might be something that they have access to in their files.
That's a good
It's
thought.
a long shot, but
well,
Shepard's had to do some stupid things before, and I guess I'll live up to that part.
That's part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that Admiral Reach will most likely still be a friendly face, even if the Council has our heads on wanted posters. But we still have 10 days before that happens, so we might be able to leverage some resources until then.
I could at least put a message out, see if it can get to him, if there's any chance he would be able to give us a yes or no. And if it's a situation where there is a yes, we could find some sort of a midway point after we get back from Yomi and either get an information drop or meet with him directly, depending on what there is, if there is a yes.
Well,
or I could just get a message back laughing.
Well, you can use the quantum communicator before we reach Yomi, or you can wait until we're on our way home.
I'll do it now. It'll give him some time to think about whether or not he's got information and whether or not it's worth sharing. So.
Yes, while we're still in range of galactic comms, that'd probably be best.
So I'll go do that now, since I've got your blessing.
I'll take the bridge then.
Your quantum communicator currently has 2 recipients.
We don't have one for Admiral Reach, do we?
You actually do not have his quantum phone number, which is what I'm going to call
Damn.
it.
You could ask Primarch
obviously,
Victus
that's
if
not
he
what
has
it's
it.
called, but
You could ask Primarch Victus if he has it.
He might.
entirely possible.
Quantum communicators in the conference room?
Mm-hmm. Aryn will take your station on the bridge.
All right.
just gonna send a ping through to him to see if he's even got it.
Yeah, you contact Primarch Novium Victus, and he will answer you. So he says, like kind of as a reflex, Spectre, we just hello, Shepard, was it?
Lieutenant Lucille Shepard, correct, Primarch. I have a slightly odd question. Would you happen to have quantum contact information for Admiral Reach of the Alliance? I'm trying to get in touch with him, and sadly that was not information I was given before we left the Citadel.
Yes. As a matter of fact, as a member of the Galactic Readiness Task Force, I do have his information. I can forward that along to you.
I would greatly appreciate it.
All right, I'll take care of that right away.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful rest of your day, sir.
No trouble at all.
Shepard in there sounding like she's working in a call center.
Pretty much.
Never had to work customers.
I was literally about to say David was just going to sit there and look back at Aryn a moment and just go, how much you want to bet the moment that she hangs up the call on him, she's going to be the most polite person you've ever met in your life? What?
All right, you call Admiral Reach, like right away after that?
Yep.
All right, sorry for the delay. The cat is being removed from my room. He keeps sneaking in over and over.
Right, it's just extra flavor for oh shoot, what was the name? I can't remember the name of the not Adam, but Adam's cat.
Ares?
No.
It's fine.
Ares.
All right, so Admiral Reach answers, and he says, sorry, you just gave me your rank and it went out the other ear because I'm an idiot. Lieutenant?
Lieutenant?
It was just a lieutenant, like straight up? Yeah, okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. All right, so he says, Lieutenant Shepard, I didn't know you had my contact information.
I actually reached out to Primarch Victus to see if I could get that. I have a slightly odd request.
I see. Well, it's good to know that Primarch is just giving my quantum coordinates out to whoever asks, but I'm sure this is important. I'll have a word with him later.
It actually is, sir. We are... In order to further our progress with the Galactic Readiness Task Force, one of the things we need to find information on is the catalyst.
Oh, my.
Given that that mission was something my mother worked with and was very close with at the end, I believe, I was wondering if there's any information in regards to what that is, where that was, anything about it that might be something that we could gain access to. This wouldn't be something I would ask for if it was not imperatively important. But I understand you are bound by a number of different rules and regulations. But if it's something that we might be able to get any information on, even if it's not right now, we're currently headed away from the Citadel. So if it takes some time to maybe get information that we could have, it would be greatly appreciated.
I see. Well, that mission was largely overseen by the late Fleet Admiral Hackett. I'm afraid he's not with us anymore, and the details of his work with your mother are highly classified, but I do have access to records. Given the importance of your mission, I can push to have all of my records transferred to you. Although, there is some disturbing news that has come down the wire from the Council just recently, which might make politics difficult on my end. After all, the Alliance military is now an arm of the Council. We're not free rangers like we used to be back in the good old days. Can't exactly do whatever we want.
Understandable.
I won't pry into your business. I'm sure whatever's going on, there's a reasonable explanation. But if you're able to clear things up with the Council, it'll make my life a lot easier getting you those files.
I'm not sure how successful we might be with that, given our current progress with this, which is part of the reason why information regarding the catalyst would be pivotal to working with them better.
I'm going to break protocol a little bit here, Lieutenant. What I say stays in this room. I can at least tell you what I personally know. We ended the Reaper War with something called the Crucible, a secret weapon. It wasn't built by us. We sort of pieced it together from what I understand. The catalyst was the final component of this crucible. It was discovered somewhere, I believe. That's all I really know. The crucible was assembled at the original Citadel, for what it's worth. So the catalyst would have been there at one point, at least at the end of the Reaper War. But the results of the Crucible were catastrophic, as you know. Devastating, far-reaching effects. The result is that, well, it's far from common knowledge what became of any particular component of that weapon after it was used. I can't say whether our records will actually hold the answers you seek or not, but I don't have their contents committed to memory, and I will not be able to access them without good reason. Until you clear things up with the Council, I'm afraid that it's very unlikely I'll be able to get you any more information about this.
Well, we're already a little bit farther ahead than we were previously. If it is a situation where you are able to find any inroads that may allow you to get additional information, it'd be appreciated, but I 100% understand that things have gotten slightly more complicated. Not that this was ever going to be a straightforward, simple mission.
I'll try my best, but with things how they are now, you're being treated as a significant threat. I won't pry into the details. You get the benefit of the doubt from me. But there are higher-ups here in our council headquarters who are acting as though there could be a very bad situation brewing, and you're at the center of it. Talk of another Reaper War.
I hate to say, but I think this would be potentially more catastrophic if what is happening continues. But let's deal with one catastrophe at a time, right?
Of course. You have to do whatever it takes to keep the galaxy safe, but just be careful not to throw us out of the frying pan and into the fire, so to speak.
That is definitely the hope. Well, sir, I appreciate your time with this and your assistance. I understand that any information that may come will likely be minimal considering the hornet's nest we've stirred up.
Indeed.
But I won't take any more of your time.
The last time we had a rogue Spectre flying around messing with Reaper tech, his name was Saren. You'll understand why this is being taken seriously.
And for good reason.
Over and out.
Thank you, sir.
And they'll hang up the channel.
She kind of just leans back in the chair and is like, well, I mean, it's something.
Hey, Spectre.
Yes?
This is just me and my 2 cents. And I'll look over to my uncle for a moment before looking back out. There was another person who could probably have that information we need. They were, of course, they were on the ship. In fact, I guess they technically were the ship at one point. Edie. I'd imagine if any information the late Shepard got, I wouldn't imagine that it wouldn't just be left out to them and them only. I imagine the ship's AI core or something would have had records or something.
Joker's quick to agree, and he says, "Yeah, I think that's a good bet. If you want info on what she was up to, then Edie's definitely the way to go. We should put saving her at the top of our priority list."
What about you, Joker? Do you have any information on the catalyst?
I know we were looking for it at one point. It was a pretty big deal. Needed it for the Crucible. But I wasn't at all those meetings. You know, I was the pilot. So, I mean, Shepard and I would chat about things sometimes, but it was all like, go here, drop me off, pick me up, they're shooting at me, and I don't know. I mean, I was in the cockpit a lot, you know what I mean?
I understand.
God, 20 years and shit just doesn't change.
Don't worry, Edie is still on our priorities list. Just involves hitting at the heart of the Syndicate. And right now, the Syndicate is fully in league with Amos. Might be a tough grab to make, but if we see a chance, we'll take it.
Have we considered, says Joker, aluminum foil hats? Has that been explored at all?
I'm pretty sure the ship and our helmets are made of sterner stuff than that, and that couldn't block it.
Just throwing it. Yeah, just throwing it. Just workshop it. Just throwing it out there.
Hey, at this point, I'm willing to consider any possibilities.
All right, I'll get back to you on that. You guys get the feeling that Jeff is starting to feel like himself a little more lately.
That's good.
He's been learning how to fly the ship from Quincy. He's been having some talks with the crew. He's starting to feel a little better.
You know, Unc, if you get that aluminum foil trick working, I can always try to tap into your head a little bit to see if it stops it.
There we go. He looks at Aryn and points at David. See, we can test it.
You got 2 Moreaus on this ship, for better or worse.
Actually, not aluminum foil, but isn't there is a thing that works on biotics, right? I feel like there was. It's on the tip of my tongue. That's it. Why don't we get a bunch of that?
It's a very rare substance. Very hard to come across in quantity.
Yeah, well, every time that something was called rare and hard to come across in our travels, Shepard always seemed to find it pretty quick. Maybe we were just really lucky.
Well, it's also very difficult to transport or travel with. because it's resistant to the mass effect, and that is how our FTL ships work. So in order to even travel on a ship with it, it can't be fully in effect. But that is something to consider. It would at least give us some resistance to it. That is a good thought.
And as you guys are talking, you make the last jump. And for the first time, you can see the Yomi Nebula.
Well, that's reassuring.
Well, almost
Pretty, though.
definitely isn't here. Let's engage the emission sync. Scan for any contacts.
Already on it.
Jeff says, I guess that's one nice thing about this Amos guy, right? You get a big darkness thing the size of a star system. You can't exactly miss him. Not going to sneak up on us.
He managed to at Euphoria.
Oh.
How'd
that happen?
To be fair, I think we were a little bit more distracted by all the giant shadow monsters and, the creepy Asari lady who was trying to get into your head. Just a few other priorities,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, puts his hand on his chin. Sorry, this is kind of a non sequitur, but, you guys weren't in that station for very long. How did he get there so quickly? If the big darkness thing is actually the size of a star system, right? We should have noticed it, way before he got there.
Wow.
If he can travel fast, if he can travel at FTL speeds, then he's traveling faster than light.
Oh, shit. That's scary.
You can't do that as effectively within a system, but from one system to another, he could have jumped in like that.
I'm sure Ray has a massive explanation for it, but I just want to go on record and state that I feel that if you ignore light and suck light out of everywhere, you shouldn't have the ability to travel faster than it because you kill it. I'm just saying, feels like he's cheating.
Or perhaps he can minimize or suppress his field at will, which he might have been doing as well.
This guy sucks, says Jeff.
Ditto. Yeah.
You're not wrong. Are there any contacts out there besides the research station?
No sign of civilization, nothing. This place is barren. Not even wiped clean. We're talking nobody's ever been all the way out here except for, I guess you could call it a research station. What the fuck is this?
Should be a station and a remnants of a mass relay.
It's weird. The station is the relay, kind of. Man, it's weird. This is Jeff. Look at this. It's David to look at, and it looks... David, you've never seen readings like this, ever. It's very bizarre.
What the fuck?
It's similar to what would come up for a mass relay, but totally different. It's like if mass relays were a Lego set, a specific one, and you were looking at a totally different Lego set. It's got the mark of being made by my brain shut off, but the guys who made all the relays, the fucking Leviathans.
Yeah.
I guess the Leviathans made the Reapers who made the relays. Whatever. It's got that Reaper Tech signature to it, but it is not coming up like any kind of relay you've ever seen. Adam will actually come in the room and say, I can confirm from more detailed sensors that is the mass relay for the Yomi Nebula, but it is also the research station.
So they can find them.
Rather, it seems that humans set up here to research what this is. That is to say, humans simply moved into it to research it.
Well, alright then. Take us in nice and quiet then.
Yeah, get ready to scan the research station too. I don't want any surprises if we can avoid them.
As you approach, it looks like this. It is much bigger than any mass relay you've seen. In fact, its size is comparable to the old original Citadel.
What in the hell?
Like not the Citadel Prime, but like the OG Citadel from the games. That's like
Yeah.
about how big this thing is, yeah. But it looks totally unique.
Damn, you know, I know almost is big, but like I guess you don't. It really puts it in perspective if he could hide something like that. You know, like what the fuck?
Do you think any of this is Amos's work? Or was it always like this?
I'm gonna be up front with you, Spectre. I don't think my pay grade was high enough to be able to give you that information because I didn't even know it.
Is that your way of subtly asking for a raise?
No comment.
He
Adam
wouldn't be subtle about it.
Adam says, I'm picking up small amounts of abandoned human infrastructure. It seems that the research station is actually more Alliance building in and around the side of this, possibly to determine what it is. Fortunately, because of that, says Adam, there is a traditional dock available, which the Alliance built as part of this project. In their absence, I'm not sure where we would put a ship in this thing. There's really nowhere to dock other than the one built by the human visitors.
Well, then take us in quiet as you can.
Yeah, and since we don't have, I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say we ain't hailing anybody from that end. So,
Nope.
Adam, do you think you could go ahead and activate docking procedures from the station side?
Will do. Also putting the stealth drive at max.
Excellent.
This structure it's definitely indicative of Leviathan or Reaper tech, but there's something noteworthy about it. From what I understand from my logs, the original Citadel was actually very hospitable to other life forms, built with hallways and rooms and docks, and essentially almost deliberately designed to encourage use. I'm getting the opposite impression from this structure. This structure is designed in such a way that there is no intention for any other life form to use it or be here. In fact, it feels somewhat hostile to me.
Were we able to
Good.
get any biological signatures from Amos in the multiple times that we came across him?
I don't think we've ever gotten close enough or gotten
No.
Never gotten a scan of him.
Yeah, never.
Not sure we tried.
I'm not sure we could have
No.
tried.
No, I remember in our first encounter when we were enveloped by him, we had no sensors at all.
Yeah, we were
Scanning
completely
everything.
blind.
Can we scan this station against the known Citadel ID and see if it's actually directly connected or if it looks like there's something else, like a loose connection? Because this does not look like the work of the Leviathans or the Reapers. This looks like more personal work.
Adam says, once we get closer, I could try. To really know, I'm going to need to interface, which I'm admittedly somewhat nervous about doing.
Without delving too deep or risking yourself too much, Adam, what do you estimate its chances of being functional as a relay are?
Well, It actually seems to be operational. But
Small favors.
what's very strange is that the destination that it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think it does work, but it's hard for me to tell what it's supposed to be doing. As a mass relay, the way it's set up doesn't make sense to me.
Well, if we're successful here, we might be able to reconfigure it for on the inside to send us where we need to go.
As far as I can tell right now, if we tried to use it as a mass relay, it would shoot us out into the void of space, directly away from the galaxy. Or destroy the ship completely, reduce it to atoms. One or the
we're
other.
Not doing that.
So, what? Is that why Amos showed up here? It's pre-programmed to send him back and come in?
Maybe it's a beacon.
The function doesn't make sense to me, says Adam. I feel like I'm missing something.
There might be another relay out in dark space that was his way in, pointing to here.
That doesn't feel possible. When we speak about dark space, it's difficult for organic minds to comprehend just how much empty space there is between galaxies. But suffice to say, even with mass relay technology, there shouldn't be any feasible utility to sending someone out there. It would take a chain of hundreds of them to have any chance of getting to anything.
Well, maybe some answers will be on board.
That's where the Reapers stayed, though. Am I wrong between the execution or the not execution?
Yes, but they stayed in the periphery. They went into dark space.
Extinction. That's what.
How do I put it? Says Adam.
Perhaps they had technology that they did not leave behind here. Things more
No.
advanced than what we have.
It's simply that they didn't go that far. Let me demonstrate. Imagine that this white circle is he'll start drawing stuff. This is our galaxy. And then imagine that this red circle is another galaxy. And the Reapers, when they were not purging, they hung out around there. The distance is almost unfathomable.
Okay. But almost came from somewhere else. It had to be somewhere.
And it had to have been beyond the Reapers, because the Reapers supposedly were a defense mechanism against Amos.
That's always seemed weird to me too, says Adam. This is all very strange. It shouldn't be possible for Amos to come from another galaxy. But then, I suppose, we've experienced a lot of things that were impossible so far, so I'll keep it to myself.
Well, if the Leviathans just had the technology to create the mass relays literally millions and millions and millions of years ago, if he was out in the middle of the dark space tinkering for that long, it makes sense that he might have been able to figure something out.
Well, away team, gear up. We'll meet in the cargo bay.
Just as a quick aside, Aryn, I was able to reach the Admiral. Apparently, information will be slightly difficult to obtain, but the catalyst is linked with the Crucible. But any additional information would need to be through the council, and apparently there has been there's been some kerfuffle down the line. She kind of rolls her eyes. So we'll see if that pans out to anything, but given the current state of the galaxy, we might not have any additional information coming for that either.
Alright. Well, potentially the Council will realize that the galaxy's in great enough threat as it is without having to hunt us down. Maybe that will change their minds. Who knows?
One could hope.
For now,
Adam,
we'll focus on this mission and seek answers on that one elsewhere afterwards.
What is the life support on the ship, as far as you can tell?
Adam says, the small sections that were added by Human Alliance scientists have basic life support functions that have long since ceased functioning. The structure itself has absolutely zero life support of any kind, and in fact would be very difficult to explore, as there are no hallways, there are no rooms. It is not designed for organic creatures to enter it. There are tight, cramped technical corridors packed with technology. From what I can tell, it is very much a machine with no intent for people to enter it, and therefore there are no accommodations to keep anyone alive.
The sections that the Alliance added on, we could possibly reactivate their life supports when we need to recharge our air supply.
We could try. Reactivating life support is... That means we'd have to effectively reactivate a Mass Effect generator, so I'll do my best.
As the Saratoga approaches this monolith, you see some arcs of electricity shoot out from the central pillar, connecting with the outer rings. This doesn't seem to happen based on any kind of pattern or anything like. It just kind of does this. It just naturally, this just occurs sometimes.
I am going to cast Environmental Adaptation once on each member of the crew, giving them space so everyone gains thrusters so we can move in zero gravity as if we had a fly speed.
Alright, that'll be important. The Saratoga pulls in carefully and docks with a comparatively tiny little metal edifice that has been kind of built onto the side of this monolith so that human researchers could live here and research it. And as soon as the docker opens, it becomes clear that while there are some flickering lights here and there, there's no artificial gravity and no atmosphere inside of even the human station.
Any signs of activity in here?
Give me a perception check.
One moment.
Can any of us make that check?
Yeah. Anyways, a little curious.
Damn, Mark.
Well, standing inside the Saratoga, looking out through the docker into this corridor, Aryn will notice that the door at the other end is shut, and there's no wheel on this side to open it. It seems like it can only be opened or closed from the other side. Because it is firmly shut, the implication is that someone must have closed it from the other side. Lucille will also notice this. Now, there's no telling if they're alive or dead anymore, but someone had to have shut that.
Just so we're all on the same page, if we do discover Dr. Ulzik here, we take him alive, if at all possible. Even if he's clearly turned against us, I at least want to be able to probe his mind. Anybody have an idea on how to get through this door without cutting it?
Is there any sort of a computer interface or anything that I can see anywhere near it?
Oddly enough, and this is very unusual for the Mass Effect universe, this door is purely mechanical. It seems to be opened or shut most likely by a wheel that is turned on the other side, like a submarine door. There is no computer interface of any kind. It is like there's nothing, there's no circuitry, there's no computer at all. It is just a mechanical door, which that's very uncommon in this universe. It is not the kind of thing that would be done without some good reason.
Ray will raise an eyebrow and look back. It's a manual door.
Huh.
Even the houses on Rannoch didn't have manual doors.
Oh, darn.
Are we inside where there's life support right now?
No, I don't think so. I thought Eon had had the micro relay spell, but apparently she does not.
I do want to ask you this. I was actually going to ask you this, Mark, because I'm getting ready to pull it up right now. Can I phase step through that door?
Does phase step require you to see your destination?
That's what I'm trying to pull up.
Yeah, I know I have that for like biotic charge and pulse transit. I think phase step has that same stipulation.
There's no window or anything, so it's just like a solid metal bulkhead door.
Yeah, oh, there it is. Damn, I walked right past it. Oh. Yeah, no. Up that you can see. Okay, yep, nope. Damn it.
The easiest explanation that Ray might jump to for this being manual is just security. At the end of the day, there is nothing more secure than just a physical edifice that cannot be interacted with by technology at all.
Yeah.
But it is a little extreme to go that far. It implies whatever was going on here was very, very secure.
Omni tools have welders on them. Is there any joints or any would I be able to weld along the lines of it, or at least try to weld a hole into it that we could crawl through?
It looks pretty thick. It would be time consuming and difficult to do that, but it's possible.
And the Spectre also said, can we do it without cutting the door? That's...
Adam, are there any systems you can access from on the inside that could open it? Maybe mechs or anything?
Adam will stay on the Saratoga and say, I can't access any systems for the Alliance add-on. It's really secure. There are computer systems in there, but they're the most secure systems we've encountered. I would say they're more secure than the systems on Citadel Prime. I could try to interface with the I'm going to call it the monolith just so we have a name for it. But it's very strange and concerning to me, and I do not know what the consequences will be if I interface with the monolith.
Alright, stand by.
What about vents? Is there any air ventilation systems or anything like that?
Not that you can see.
Well, I don't have any powers that can get through this. If nobody else does, then cutting it might be our only option.
The only thing I could honestly think of, and I think it'd be stretching it a little bit, but he can't access it. And it would be if there was a camera literally on the other side of this door, looking at the other side of this door. But then I could see the destination, and therefore, flip.
I don't know if seeing it through a camera counts unless you're a cryptography engineer.
You're not wrong. I'm trying, man.
Yeah. And I'm looking through Ez's sheet, but Eon, even though I think Eon picked up the item necessary. Yeah, she picked up the portable mass relay, but did not take the micro relay spell. Oddly enough.
I suppose knocking might be considered a stupid option, huh?
Maybe not if somebody's alive in there.
Well, we
Stupid
are
as
trying
it
to be
is.
stealthy.
Oh, stealth gets
Wait.
stealth stops being useful if you can't get in.
I just realized I had something else that might be usable, but I don't. I gotta see if I can. If I have to see the target. Yeah, I have to see it. God damn it. Okay, never mind then. I was gonna see if I could. I was gonna try and biotic kinesis the fucking handle if I could find the fucking handle. Damn it.
Welding
And then-
through the door is going to be disruptive. There's no way
no
to
other-
stealth or sneak after that. So, all other options being kind of blown out of the water, I think Kronk might be right. It might be worth knocking first, and then if no one's going to open the door, we huff and puff and break it down with Omni tools.
If somebody is alive in there, we don't want to vent the system.
Yeah,
So
that's
best to knock.
Hence the knocking first.
Alright, let's give it a try then.
Kronk, would you like to do the honors?
Since it was his idea, sure. How this is a big bulkhead door, right?
Oh yeah.
So Kronk is gonna take out his hammer and not really swing with all of his force. He's just gonna kind of use it as a knocker.
Yeah, you kind of have to do something like that to make the to get the sound through it. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
little extra weight to carry it through. It might do nothing, but it's worth a shot. Sometimes the knock spell is all you need.
The other possibility is Eon has biotic animation and might be able to like animate the door and make it spin its wheel on the other side.
Oh.
If you can't,
yeah.
I mean, sure, but there's also the argument if you can't use biotic animation to pull a trigger, can you really use it to turn a lock?
I don't know. It's the only spell I can see that that I think could actually work. Because I really thought Eon took micro relay, but Ez did not apparently.
I don't know if
After-
we're lucky enough in order to do that.
We're not gonna just add a spell to Ez's sheet
Yeah,
to solve
no.
a problem.
No.
After a short delay, a crackly electronic voice comes out of a small sparking speaker that is like floating by one of the walls connected by a stray wire. And it goes "Well, you're very far from home. Who's this then?"
Oh boy. Didn't think anybody would actually answer.
Perfectly reasonable.
Always doubting my ideas, Spectre.
Well, what's your next clever idea for this?
Talk to him.
You're the talker.
Yeah. Unless you're giving us free range here.
He says, "Who is this?" I'm trying to think of who I could even say that would convince him.
Just don't let David talk.
No, David's
This
not
is an
talking.
alliance base. What? This is an alliance base, ain't it?
Yeah, but supposedly this is a Solarian that we're talking to potentially.
And It's an Alliance base. It
If-
doesn't matter if he was Quarian.
We think that this might be Eli Ulzik, the
Mhm.
dude who made Adam, right?
No, Ulzik
Maybe.
did not make
Mhm.
Adam.
No?
That's
Oh,
Dr.
sorry.
Akazawa.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to keep names straight. It's been a minute.
Yeah, keeping the nerds in the proper deck is hard.
Eli Ulzik is the Solarian who was basically finding a way to artificially give other Solarians biotic powers. Who went, who disappeared, whether he went rogue or kidnapped or whatever. He has nothing to do with Adam at all.
Aryn is going to. I'm gonna. Let's see. Can biotic presence be used on myself?
Guidancing yourself has always been a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna use biotic presence on myself, and Aaron's gonna respond and say, Salem sent us.
That's a gamble.
That's a big gamble.
There's a
The
long
gamble pays off, though.
There's a long delay, and then what for?
To evaluate your progress.
Give me a deception check, Mark.
God damn it. Okay.
Of course, I'm gonna make you roll for it.
Of course, yeah, of course. Do we have inspiration because we got a long rest on the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is we gonna be getting an engineering tech support die to this? Too late for that?
I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration to try to get.
That's up to Sean if he wants to tech support it.
Yeah, I can hand him a tech support.
Is that a D10? Is that a D10?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Sean.
And I'm using a contingency as well, which is a D6. So 30.
30.
Yeah, I used my inspiration, and we used a tech support and a contingency. So
Yeah.
we used a bunch of stuff.
This doesn't seem like it's an important thing or anything. Throw everything at it.
Earned a couple
I do need to
resources.
reroll my planning dice too, actually. So there we go. Okay.
All right. Did she now? All right. Come in. And the wheel cranks and turns. As the door opens, you find the interior of a laboratory. The figure in front of you that opened the door looks to be an Alliance security member, but his head is completely limp and his eyes are like glassy and vacant. He like cranks the door open for you and then just kind of like limply wobbles over to the side and collapses against a wall. And there are other members of there are Alliance scientists and Alliance security members throughout the room who are just kind of limply standing around with their eyes all like glossy and empty.
Stupid question. But does anybody look familiar as from service?
No, you don't recognize anyone. Another thing worth noting is that where the door is, you can't see anything, but it's very clear that gravity and atmosphere both begin right at the door, as though there were like some kind of an invisible film keeping it in. Because like as you step through the door, you can feel yourself like entering a pressurized room with air right at the surface of where the door is.
So this guy that opened the doors just now, just fell down limp.
Yep. And all around the room, there are, Alliance scientists and security members who are all, limp, and they all seem to be awake and aware, but their heads are limp, and their eyes are all glassy and empty, and they're like zombies. A door opens, and a Solarian enters. As he enters, a few Alliance scientists follow him, kind of limp, like zombies. They're carrying stuff for him. He motions at the door after you've all entered, and it slams shut, and the wheel spins. He doesn't even look at you guys. He's looking at a clipboard.
Aryn's gonna do her best to maintain an air of confidence, like she's supposed to be here.
So, what are you? Some syndicate goons, I take it?
Something like that.
Huh. Again, not even looking at you, Eli will just turn to a computer interface and start typing. Well, you're here for a progress report.
Yes,
There's
and I would have it.
There's nothing to report. Everything is fine. I'm keeping the breach closed. That one who got through is still inside. And there won't be any more passing through.
Was the one that got through intentional, or simply a mistake on your part?
He stops suddenly.
Shit.
You don't know anything, do you?
Do you tell your muscle everything?
Salem knows about the one that got through. He came after us. It wasn't a mistake on my part. I don't make mistakes. We were followed. She knows that.
Followed
Anyway,
from where?
he's contained. Oh. What do you mean from where? Salem doesn't need to know that. She knows. You're asking too many questions.
I'm sorry, it's my curious nature. I like to be informed.
I like my help a little bit less talkative. He motions, and one of the Alliance zombies, brings him something.
So I see. Well, where is this intruder now?
Did Salem send you to find that out, or is that your curious nature?
I just want to make sure there are no problems.
Alright, that's another deception check, because he's
Great.
getting suspicious.
Uh-huh.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
My gosh, I'm rolling really low today, but hang on, I've got my guidance and another contingency. So in total, that'll be 22.
He turns and squints at you. Oh. I know you from somewhere.
Is there a piece of technology that Ray maybe notices isn't functioning correctly, or something that can maybe draw a bit of, something she could point out to maybe draw a bit of heat off of Aryn?
Yeah, there's stuff broken all over the place.
Okay, but nothing that looks like it's like actively being used. That like it's
No.
not fully functional. Okay.
No. Oh, I know where I know you from. You're that one that Salem sent to the Leviathans. Yeah, she must have parasited you guys after. That makes sense. He'll shrug and go back to his monitor. He motions with a hand, and another door opens, and he says, "Down at the end of the hall, take a right. You'll find the stasis pods. Don't touch anything. Those are my precious subjects. The last stasis pod has our little guest."
Okay.
Aryn's gonna Aaron's gonna say to Ray, can your little toy go check it out?
Ray's actually going to kind of give Aryn like a dirty look. Yes, I will send Tasty to go check it out.
Sorry, just trying to play the part. I would have called it Tasty, but trying to be the sinister one here.
Yeah, Ray's not good at deception. She didn't realize it was part of a performance.
Yeah, and I'm just not interested in going behind any closed doors now.
All right, you send your drone. Are you able to like share vision like a familiar, or?
Yeah, it works just like a familiar.
All right. The drone turns the corner and finds itself in a room filled with glass tubes. Inside of the glass tubes, there are people who seem to be in some kind of cryogenic stasis. Many of them have their heads disassembled, their brains visibly on display while they still live, with lots of little needles and probes like stuck into their brain tissue. When Tasty reaches the far end of this room, he does find the final stasis pod, wherein there is someone who has not been experimented on and is only being held. And Ray wouldn't recognize him. He looks like Alliance military. There is something a little bit weird about him that's unique, though. He has, in the right lighting, a slight glimmer of circuitry under his eyes and along his neck, but you can only see it from a certain angle. And his eyes are open and they're bright green, like much brighter green than like a human's eyes should be. But he otherwise looks like some kind of high-ranking military, Alliance military.
Ray's gonna snap back and kind of like grab her stomach a little queasy and say, "It's some Alliance guy, and a lot of not so put together people."
Not so put together.
Yeah, like what you do in biology class.
Oh, what? Kind of cool.
"Are we done here?" says Eli.
Well,
Hey, I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask. So I'm gonna like kind of tweak my head to the side since since I got like the environmental helmet on, my face is all covered and stuff like that. I think I'd just like twitch my head to the side a little bit as if my neck's a little uncomfortable. But I'm going to whisper into Ray's head a little bit. I'm gonna ask her, "Hey, were you able to save that image?"
I mean, my innate thing would be Ray would probably record all of the images and
Mm.
stuff she gets. But if
Okay.
Zan doesn't want it to be that way, then that's understandable because I've never specified that.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like a body cam, right? There's no reason not to record it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
And Ray will kind of like go stiff and like look around, and then she'll just nod slowly.
Move.
Eli will look over his shoulder at Aryn. I asked if we're done here.
Well, with as powerful as you are in the research that you've been doing, I guess I'm just curious why Salem has you stationed here at the edge of the galaxy when your talents could be more useful elsewhere.
And that's because you don't know anything.
Enlighten me.
The door behind you slams open. Leave.
Well, I guess it was going to come to this eventually. And I'm going to try to hit him with a neural shock.
All right.
Which I assume will start combat.
Yeah, certainly. Let me just grab something real quick.
Oof.
Oh,
Okay, his con save is really good.
yeah, it took a little too late for you to say. Actually, you rolled this.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you could have forced him to fail, but he's got a +10, so
Yeah, I've got a
You
5
have-
that I could have rolled, forced him to roll, but now I know.
When you neural shock him, he doesn't move. And he doesn't roll initiative. He actually just like, there's like a quiet moment after it didn't work, and he says, "Are you sure about that?"
Unless you want to start giving answers, I don't have a choice.
All the zombie security aim all their rifles at Aryn.
That was what I was worried about.
Yeah.
How many of them are there?
And Arturo aims his rifle at him.
There are 10.
I didn't want it to have to come to blows, Doctor, but we did not come here on Salem's behest.
Yeah, I've gathered as much.
We came to rescue you, if you indeed needed it.
The one you want to rescue isn't here.
So there's another one of you, which I've
You
gathered.
have no idea what's going on.
The
No,
one
but
that
I
we
have
want to
come in
rescue
search
is
of
that-
answers. I want to understand.
This is so pointless. I'm not going to fight you, Spectre.
Well, if you help me understand why it is you're doing this, you might be able to convince me to join you. But I cannot operate without information.
Salem is going to bring about an era of peace and prosperity. A galaxy without war, where everyone gets along in harmony.
Uh-huh.
At the cost of what freedoms?
Most of them. As I expected, you're too small-minded to understand.
Yeah, we all read Saren's book.
Saren, you talking about the coward who bowed to the Reapers hoping to be spared?
The psychopath who is willing to sacrifice his freedom for prosperity?
More so coward who just wanted to live. It's not a very apt comparison.
Does Amos hold you and Salem in any higher regard?
Almost. Oh, yes, right. I almost forgot about that. Yes. Amos is very agreeable.
You've almost forgot about Amos? Is that not who you're working for?
Oh, you cannot even see the depth of your own ignorance.
I suppose not. I'll need some gaps filled in, if you'd be so kind.
Ray's behind him doing the like opening and closing your hand thing, like chatter.
Blah, 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 blah.
Eli begins to slowly walk along the computer console as he talks. What you think is going on is only what has been shown to you. You're chasing the shadows of a theater performance, Spectre.
Then what is it behind the curtains that I need to see?
He slams his fist down on a button at the end of the console when he reaches it, and suddenly the floor opens below him and Eli drops out of view, and then it slams shut above him.
That's not a good sign.
David just sits there for a moment and just goes, I was probably going to try and stop him, but I'm sure people would have told me not to do that too, so, you know.
Suddenly,
I mean,
all the security zombies shoot the console that activated that trapdoor. They all just open like automatic fire on it until it's decimated. Then they start shooting the scientist and themselves. Like, they just start executing scientists and shooting themselves in the heads all around you.
Okay.
And when it's done, you're surrounded by corpses.
That was minorly upsetting.
Were the doors that led into that hallway where he said his special specimens were, is that still wide open?
It is.
I think I'm going to start making my way towards that.
He's got a flair for the dramatic.
That's putting it mildly.
Because I want to go see what's in the last stasis container for myself.
Go ahead.
See if I recognize the face.
I'd like to check the door we came in to make sure we can still get out it.
Yeah. If you turn the wheel, it turns. So it looks like you are able to open it if you want to.
I am going to open it.
When you open it, suddenly the atmosphere starts rushing out of the room. Whatever kind of invisible wall was keeping it. Okay, you immediately shut it again. Yeah. Whatever was keeping the atmosphere in is gone now.
Nice thing about it being a manually controlled door is it can't be remotely triggered. Let's keep it closed for right now.
Well, we don't know for sure if there isn't something there that can do something stupid, and I wanted to make sure we could still walk out of here. But we'll keep what little bit we have.
We could always try to dive deeper into the facility, track the guy down. He had to run to somewhere.
If we can find a way through, I'm interested to see what experiments he was trying to keep contained, though. Apparently there was something that got through that he had to contain, so if we could uncontain it, that might get his attention. Or at least provide us with some more answers. They said it came through something.
Hey Ray, even with as much damage as we've done to the console, do you think you might be able to hotwire it or something?
I have a repair kit. Zan?
No, it's been decimated.
Ray, see what it would take to get this man out of stasis. He might have some
Well,
answers.
I mean, you haven't even gotten to the guy yet, but yeah, you're all standing in the lab still.
Right.
but-
What about? Do I think I'd be able to like rework the base wiring of it through like my Omni tool and be able to activate it that way?
It looks like if you work at it for a while, you might be able to get that trap door open, but it's going to take a long time to do it.
Okay.
Kronk, see what you can do with muscle while Ray works on the in the lab.
What, to try to force the door open?
If
Okay.
possible.
First things first, Kronk is going to use Biotic Enhancement to give himself advantage on strength checks. Let me...
Yeah, so are you going to go investigate the stasis pods, or are you trying to go after it?
That's what I'm doing.
People are kind of like split a little bit
Well, I'm
right
thinking
now.
about getting the door open, but we're not going to chase him just yet. I'm going to focus on the stasis pod first.
Who's going to the stasis room?
I'm already probably there, if not halfway through
Who
it.
went with David?
I'd probably
I'm-
follow after
Arturo will
Aryn.
go with him.
You follow? Okay, so the humans do. Yeah.
Yeah, Aryn's staying here with Kronk. She'll probably ask Ray to go help with the stasis
So it's-
chamber as well.
We'll start with the stasis. It's pretty horrifying to behold. They're all human. It's the people who were like
Oh.
working on this station. It is an absolute nightmare. What has been done to these people who are working here?
Oh,
But when you
God.
reach the end, the man in the stasis pod at the very end does look strangely familiar, particularly to Lucille. Other than the strange kind of almost invisible circuitry, and besides the green eyes, he is the spitting image of Kaidan Nalenko.
Holy fuck. I nearly cute.
See, just some alliance guy.
All right, Kronk, give me that athletics check to wrench that thing open.
All right, athletics, nice.
I'll give him a D4 with biotic presence.
I'm not shaking.
I don't believe you.
No, why would you?
You can add a D4 on that.
Working on it. 24.
You have to beat on it for a while to make handholds, like with your hammer. And eventually you kind of dent handholds so you can get your fingers in there and start to pull. And you are slowly wrenching it open, but it is very slow. You're like standing there straining. The metal is like loudly creaking as you are slowly wrenching it inch by inch open. Unfortunately for Arturo, you can collect them from the bodies in the lab, but the people in stasis, you can't get to their dog tags because they're like in the tubes.
Wearing
But
them in stasis.
But all the dudes who like shot each other in the lab, you can get their stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Ray will walk over and crack her fingers because Lucille still hasn't said anything, and she'll go up to the computer in front of the strange green-eyed person and start like typing away, trying to figure out exactly what the stasis pod is doing and if she thinks she can free the person.
Give
Yeah,
me
the reason Lucille hasn't said anything is because she's literally grabbing the back of her helmet and froze, which is what I did.
Yeah, I think Dave's gonna like reach over and like gently touch her shoulder and just be like, "Hey,
So, give me a
Take a
technology
step-
check.
take a step back." We'll see.
Oh no!
Nice, dude. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Classic Sean roll.
Wow.
There we go.
Still not much
Oh
better.
my God.
You you do establish this is definitely some kind of cryogenic stasis. That it seems to be intended to allow. It could have a lot of different uses and applications. You figure a few things out. One is the stasis tubes were not initially part of the station. They seem to have been added. Two, it does not feel like Alliance technology, or at the very least, not any that you're aware of. It is new to you. It does seem to allow a life form to basically go into stasis, seemingly indefinitely, as long as the station, keeps power, and then when they come back out, there you go. Like, they didn't age or anything, so there's a ton of applications for that. But you aren't aware of this tech being. It's not something you've worked with before, so. In this case, it seems to be being used basically as a prison. You get the impression this guy is just in here to keep him contained.
Is there a profile or anything?
Is there glass?
It is a glass tube that he's in, yeah.
Ray, get him out.
There is not a profile.
Ray, get him out now. Ray, get him out. Get him out now. And she is like on the glass, like looking for hatches or something. She's like, you need to get him out. You need to get him out.
Whoa, Lucille, back up, and she'll actually turn on her Omni tool and like point at her. You need to step back.
Ray, knowing that if someone just broke the glass or something, it would probably kill him.
Lucy, listen to Ray. She knows a lot more than we do about this stuff. Just take a minute.
What is happening? Who is this?
That's my dad.
That's Kaidan Alenko?
Kaidan Alenko.
Oh, your mom chose well. He's a handsome man. Okay, so
Not the time.
Do I have the ability to directly feed, like if I could, can my Omnipool reach other people, like say on the Saratoga? If I were to like call somebody like a video call.
Yeah.
I'm calling Joker.
Lucille, you.
Oh God.
If this is Kaidan, it's not the real Kaidan. We saw his grave.
Then they did something.
They're making another one, just like they did with the Doctor and just like they did with Rabbit. Or they accidentally made another one. He said that this thing was released. I don't know what that means, but that doesn't sound... I don't think this is the person that he looks like.
This is some sick shit.
I'll let him out if that's what Aryn wants, but I don't know. I
and
can't...
Lucille is gone down the hallway. Aryn!
Keep at it, Kronk. Coming.
So, question: how thick is this thing anyway? Like,
it is like 3 inches of steel thick.
Okay,
and so
cool.
Kronk is just like slowly bending it open.
I was gonna say, would this fix my problem?
Collapse ground. It might help loosen it up a little bit. But yeah, you could definitely do that. And maybe like that combined with pulling at it for a long time, eventually like the hinges give out and you're able to snap it open. And it opens into a tube that seems to go straight down into the darkness. You can't see the bottom of the tube that Eli Ulzik fell into. And you have no way of knowing what's at the other end.
Fair enough. All right. Well, Kronk will work on that. You guys continue your role play. He is doing the muscle thing.
Hey, Aaron's gonna go down the corridor to the lab.
Yeah, so you get to the stasis room where Lucille is
she
yelling
meets
for you.
Lucille halfway up because Lucille is like brain stomping down the hallway, looking like she's gonna murder someone.
I'm just gonna
Ray
send
will
that
look over
message to Joker.
Ray will look over at David and be like, "Do you think she forgot we have communicators in our suits?"
Aaron's not gonna stop walking, but she'll say, "Take a breath. What's going on?"
I'm going to burn something to the ground using somebody else's biotics, and it's going to be stellar. And she just spins on her heels and turns around and keeps and heads back to the room.
Fantastic as that is,
And
does
go.
not answer my question.
Give it a second, you'll see.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Ray. I don't really blame her right now, considering what my uncle said happened. So either they pulled him out of the ground when they took my uncle and did all that shit to him, or it's like Lucille said, and that's not. It's like what you and her said. That's something else. But either way, that's why I'm trying to get a hold of my uncle right now to see if he
That doesn't
remembers.
look human, David.
He looks pretty
That
fucking
doesn't look
human
like
to me.
Anything. No, what? He's got wires going through under his body. He's almost translucent. He's got green eyes.
Okay, so here's the thing though. When you say he got wires, David actually looks towards oh wait, Arturo's not there anymore, is he?
No, Arturo's still in there.
Okay, no, he looks directly towards Arturo and then back to Ray. This man's got a fucking light bright in his body. Like, what do you mean? No offense.
Yes, but Arturo has never
Done
died.
taken.
Pretty fucking close.
That was legally dead for like 10 minutes.
When Aryn gets
When
there
we,
and sees him, she'll
Declared dead, whatever the terminology is.
I
she'll
did
probably
wanna
recognize
ask,
him. He was.
I do
like-
want to
Uh-huh.
ask Zan,
I
because
don't recognize
feel
him
free to
because
say
of
yay
his
or nay on this.
What up?
But were there ever reports about Lucille's mom, like the original Commander Shepard, after the... Like, I'm sure Lazarus was absolutely, like, no one fucking knows about that, but I do remember briefly for a time when people saw her, you could see cybernetic implants in her face until they, like, the scars fucked over, like...
Yeah, there'd probably be some rumors that something happened with that.
I mean...
Rumors, speculation.
Yeah, so when they're right when Lucille walks in the room, David's like, I mean, to be fair, Mama Shepard, I heard there were rumors about wires and stuff. Like, I'm just saying, like, if my uncle was taken away, like, he didn't have eyes on the grave the entire time. We don't know 100% if that's not him or not.
At this point, I'm not sure I care. And then she just turns back to Aryn and goes, "This is why."
I think it's starting to come together. Dr. Ulzik said that this person followed them from where they came from, and then he kept the breach closed.
Wait a
I
minute.
think this is Kaidan Alenko. Just looks at Lucille and says, "Not your Kaidan."
Are you getting at what I think you're getting at right now?
I didn't think it was
Swear to
possible,
God.
but I think that could be what this is. It would explain why
Is
there's
that-
two Salems, there's two Ulziks, two of him. He followed where they came from. There was some kind of breach.
Oh.
I think he came from some alternate reality.
Hey, Zan, stupid question. Is there any kind of premise for anything like that that's happened in history aside from, sci-fi?
No,
Like rumors of anything like that ever happening?
absolutely nothing. Ever.
Nothing that we would be aware of anyway?
Yeah, nothing at all.
Okay.
Fucking Terminator, Avengers level threat shit. What the fuck is going on?
It's like
Okay.
I know it sounds like something out of science fiction. Like a bad science fiction game, or a very well written science fiction game with very fleshed out characters.
And a lot of very deep moral choices that are very intrinsic to how the world works.
Oh no, that would be too
red
realistic.
or blue, red or blue. Fucking yeah, I get it. Okay, I've played some of them too.
Well, maybe he'll know if we can get him out of there and revive him.
Oh
Well,
my god.
Can Ray,
let's see.
can Ray diagnose him?
Ray, let me
Like,
take a look at that
examine him,
console.
do a
It's
medical
a,
examination?
I don't know, it's a human console. I might be able to figure something out with it.
I'll keep
Well, I
the
haven't
biotic
tried to
going.
open it yet because opening it is like, are we really going to just open this thing?
Yes.
It's something. Let's just
Yes.
think this through. I know nobody ever wants to listen to me, but let's just think this through.
All right. Speak
What's
of
there to
that.
think?
Almost-
pulls the gun out
All right.
and
We'll
points
let
it at the case and goes, "If he comes out and it's bad, I'll take him down."
Ray
Nobody
speak her
else
piece.
will.
The three most terrifying things in the galaxy that we know of wanted this thing put away and imprisoned.
Yes, which means it's helpful for us.
Enemy
Or-
of my enemy.
It's such a threat that even they are scared of it.
Doubtful.
I think it might have followed them to try to stop them. Sorry, I shouldn't say it. He.
Ray, I agree with you in some regards. Like, it could very well be a Pandora's box situation opening this up. This could go sideways really fucking fast if they wanted him put away. But that person still has information that we could potentially get. Leaving him there is not going to do any good.
If they wanted him locked up, it's probably because he's a threat to them. Which means he can help
Right.
us.
Ray will turn around and look for the stable life support, like open the container type thing.
I'm gonna give Ray biotic presence.
So, with
Here,
with stasis being something that you have never encountered before, and people can work together on this, but it is
Arturo's
going to
gonna
be it's going to be a combined DC requiring both technology and medicine, and they both need to be pretty solid rolls. So you can use resources, people can give you the help action, but you need a solid tech roll and a solid medicine roll to operate this thing.
Is anybody other than Ray proficient with medicine?
I know someone who is.
To be able to assist her?
I'm going to activate my Omni tool and try to bring up Dr. Bryson. I know she's a xenobiologist, but that's still medicine.
Bryson can help Ray out with her opinion on things if you loop her in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got Decimius, who could also help with tech. If we need another tech support, with that as well.
Sure, too.
I've still got contingencies, and I have 2 double-digit planning dice, but I don't know if we'd be able to use planning dice on this.
No planning.
I don't know much, but I'd be willing to help.
All right, so what is going to be the add-ons to my tech and medicine roll?
So here's what instead of the boring help, anyone trained in tech can roll tech, anyone trained in medicine can roll medicine. I will take the highest one, and then we'll apply biotic presence, and we'll apply I don't know how many. Do you have any more inspiration die, basically? Bardic inspiration, Ray? I know it's called something
I do.
tech support.
I don't think Ray can give them to herself, though. Not yet.
Yeah.
No, but if I give a potential plus 10 to Arturo, then I think his potential bonus could be higher than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Arturo's rolling,
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, so basically I'm just looking for the highest tech and the highest medicine in the room, which might be the same person, it might not.
All right, so I think I'm the only one with a medicine roll. And then me and Arturo can go through.
Bryson will also roll over the Omni tool, but you'll probably beat her.
And then me and Arturo can both roll
What
tech.
about-
Arturo gets the tech support.
We've also got the actual. Well, I don't know what
I'm
her
also going to
modifiers
use
are. We've
adaptive
got,
to give myself advantage in this roll, if I can.
Sounds good. Okay, yeah, you can. Let's
who's
start-
the other medical on this ship?
It's
The actual human
Moreau?
medic.
Faye Bryson.
Bro.
Yeah, no, that's not going to be too helpful, but...
You mean the
Yeah,
crazy lady?
I didn't think so, but yeah, crazy rat lady.
Probably wouldn't loop her in. Yeah, so it's gonna be Ray. So Ray,
Wow.
it's straight up gonna be Ray. And then
Wow.
we've got biotic presence probably being thrown around, so
Yep,
add
D4.
some D4s.
I rolled a fucking 4 and a 5 and a 3 on tech support.
All right, so 1d4 added to the medicine check,
Nice.
There you go.
and then 2d4 added to my technology check because I also have Arturo with me.
You said 2d4?
Yeah.
That's 2d6.
Yeah,
2d6. That was 2d6.
My bad.
Oof.
Anyway,
That pushes it up to a 30. There you go.
yeah, so 30 in the tech
Aryn?
and then a 25 in the medicine.
All right.
Aryn, I would like you to be ready with a neural shock. If this goes bad, that's one way to debilitate. Debilitate. He's a powerful biotic, and catching him unaware might be one of the few chances we've got.
Yep, I'm gonna convert one of my spell points to biotic and tech points so that I don't have as much waste this time.
After some work, Ray, you think you've got it, and the glass tube begins to lift, and steam is coming out from below it, like you'd expect from like dry ice or something. Ray runs away. As the tube reaches the top, Kaidan shuts his eyes and then opens them again, now focused on the party, and they are glowing like an electronic green. He doesn't get up yet. He stays still for a moment and says, kind of quietly but with conviction, "Why did you free me?"
Lucille takes off her helmet.
We're here to help.
I see. That's good. He'll begin to like unattach wires from himself as he starts to get down. How did you find this place?
We were trying to find Dr. Ulzik, and our clues led us here.
Is he still here?
Last we saw, he
We
was
don't
on the
know.
run.
That feels like a great time for Kronk to say, "I got the door open!"
Do you know who you are?
He looks at Lucille. Yes, sorry, I should have introduced myself. Someone remind me, because I'm an idiot. What was Kaidan's like
Major.
final rank? It was major. Okay, yeah,
Major.
that would have been like
Unless
final.
he calls
like,
under unless he calls under Spectre, but never really did. It was always Major.
All right, just one moment. I gotta check something really quick. Okay, so that would have been the end of that game. He was at the end of the third game. He was major.
He was also a Spectre.
Yeah. Right,
Well-
that's useful for me to know.
He was also an L2 biotic, if that matters, but probably not.
I doubt he used that as
He
his
has a
rank.
head.
No.
Yeah, I'm L2 Biotic Major Spectre, Kaidan.
Don't worry,
Before-
he's gonna start complaining about something soon. We've all played the
The
games.
fourth Esquire.
Don't make me come over there. Do not make me come over there right now. Don't do it. I
The
will
real
come
reason
over
Ray
there.
didn't want to release him.
Oh God, we get it. You're an L2 biotic.
Your hand hurts.
This is me.
I always like to guess better.
I'm rapidly brushing up on Alliance rank, so that would have put him in. Well, that would have actually put him in like ground troops, right? Because I'm not seeing major in the officer ranks for the Air Force.
I believe so.
He's a Marine.
Yeah, he was a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Marine. Okay. Yeah, got it. Okay. Got it.
The Alliance. I thought it was the Alliance Navy. Because Admiral.
Yes, but
No.
you still have Marines that are
And you still have
true.
generals. Like he's a Marine.
Oh right, because fucking what's his
Yeah.
name from the first game that got killed was he was literally a Marine. They literally stated they were all Marine
Okay.
tech.
Name
Yeah.
was
So he is.
Jenkins, son of a
he-
bitch.
Yeah.
So he is gonna say, "I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself. My name is Lieutenant General Alenko of the Alliance. Though this is going to be very confusing to me or to you, most likely. I don't know exactly what you might know about a Kaidan Alenko here, but
You're not the
This
same
is going to
Kaidan
be
Alenko.
That's correct. I was expecting that to be a little bit more of a shock to you.
Well, we started piecing it together. It's still no less of a shock.
Definitely.
But
For some of us more than others.
But you have confirmed my suspicions.
I'm more concerned about the fact that he just laughed off almost.
But how is this even possible that you're here? How did you get here?
This. He motions around himself. We're standing in the interdimensional relay. I take it, most likely in your universe, you never figured out what this thing is or what it does.
No, I was never even aware of it until just now.
Quickly, I just want to ask something. What happened to... I don't know if you'll know, but did you have a Reaper War?
Yes.
Yes.
How did that end?
Well, we were victorious, but at the...
Is Commander Shepard alive in your universe?
Oh.
No.
No.
He looks very distraught. That's a shame. He sacrificed himself in mine as well.
Oh, in our universe, it was a she.
That's unusual, but I suppose it isn't the weirdest difference there could be.
No, it's supposed not.
You don't seem to have been synthesized, so how did you deal with the Reapers?
We destroyed them.
Fucking goddamn it! I knew it.
Called it.
The moment I saw the stupid green eyes.
Uh-huh.
Someone pick up that phone because I fucking called it.
Nice.
Sorry, proceed.
Well,
Kaidan from the worst ending.
it explains why Salem would have come here. It's perfect for her.
In our universe, when Shepard did whatever she did, all AIs and all the AI were destroyed. All of them. The Geth,
Exactly.
the Reapers.
Shit. It's basically ideal then. Listen, Salem is a mutation. She's something that is only born into the Asari every million years or so. Her powers they're basically impossible. Unless you see them for yourself. But we had the very good luck to... well, our galaxy was largely synthesized. Commander Shepard's sacrifice merged organic and synthetic life, rendering
Ew.
Salem's powers essentially worthless in our universe.
So, like, all of you guys are attached to the AI at your hips?
Not quite. It's more like there is no longer a line between organic and synthetic life. In me are all the best parts of organic evolution and synthetic evolution. I'm still myself, but the me that I am is different than I was.
You came here to stop Dr. Ulzik, right?
That's exactly right.
Well, we are not very far behind him. He's only a few minutes escaped. We might still be able to catch up to him if you can move.
I'm very weak after the stasis. It's taking a lot just to stand. And you shouldn't underestimate Dr. Ulzik.
Do you know if he has any way off this station?
I have no idea what's been going on while I've been under. I know that they stormed the interdimensional relay in our universe and that we were unable to stop them. Salem killed a lot of good people that day. She might not be able to mind control anyone who's been synthesized, but her telekinetic powers are unfathomable, and she can summon massive biotic constructs that are terrifying to behold. She crushed our warships with her huge summon in space. It smashed them together like toys.
Her summon?
She's
Oh,
able to
you
create
Lord.
biotic constructs, yes.
Telling us almost isn't real.
Or
Uh,
Salem is almost,
Salem
and we've
created
just had it
Amos.
backwards the whole time.
I'm not familiar with this name Amos. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. But
We've been combating what appeared to be a giant Reaper-like creature in organic form that was able to project a void of darkness around itself.
That's a creation of Salem's. She projects it around herself.
So Salem really is the true enemy, not Amos.
I pursued her and Dr. Eli Ulzik through the interdimensional relay. I was the last one standing. But they ganged up on me on the other side. They shut it off and disabled it, and I assumed they would have killed me, but it seems they kept me alive for some reason.
That's why it started here.
This is where they emerged in your universe, that's correct.
What were you hoping to do against them?
I suppose I thought things would just work out for me if I chased the enemy through. Back in the days with Commander Shepard, that worked out a lot.
I know what you mean. That's typically how Spectres operate, too.
I guess our good luck finally ran out.
Maybe not. You're still alive. And we still have a chance to stop all of this.
Before you ask, we don't fully understand what this thing is either. And he motions around himself again. We call it the interdimensional relay because we were eventually able to figure out what it does. But we don't know why it does it. We don't know exactly who built it, though it might have been the Leviathans or the Reapers. It certainly seems similar to something they might have made. You see, after the synthesis, our society thrived. Council space came to encompass most of the galaxy. We essentially eliminated all resistance, and we were living in a technological golden age. That's when we discovered the Yomi Nebula and began to research the station, but it would take decades, maybe centuries, to unlock all the secrets to it. We still have no idea why it's here or for what purpose. But Salem used it to find a world that would be better for her and her gifts. One that would be susceptible to her power.
Oh boy, how are we going to be able to explain this to the council? If you thought they were skeptical before, they are going to think this is downright ludicrous.
I'm going to take just a second. I just want to say, this has been it from the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
Did you call it, Mark? You call my twist so often.
Yeah.
How long ago, though? How long ago did you call it?
When we started talking about, 2 rabbits and 2 Ulziks, actually 2 Ulziks, I was thinking that might have been something.
Always.
But when the second rabbit came up, I was thinking about all the possibilities from that. And, an alternate reality did cross my mind. And when you started talking about a breach and where they came from and everything, that's when it started clicking.
Mark always calls my twist.
I was not here for the spotting of 2 people things. That got skipped over in my review.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. Anyway.
Wow.
Ta-da!
Yeah,
Anyway.
I wasn't sold on that's definitely it, but I was That was
Alright.
the thing I was thinking about.
Well, now what do you do from here?
Well, I think the council would have to listen to us if we brought back the war hero.
I mean, not necessarily. Clones are a thing.
I don't think the council will believe us. Besides, we're not in very good standing with them right now. I think we just get
We should see if
Mr.
Ulzik is still on the ship.
Well, even if he is, what good is he to the enemy now? It seems his whole purpose was to just maintain this relay so nothing else would come through. Not that I think anything else will come through, nor should it. Unless there's a resource on the other side that could be helpful to us. That your galaxy would be ready to send to our cause.
Well, most likely, the relay in our universe is closed. That would be the protocol. Opening one of these things is not a good idea. The main reason being, we don't know how many universes they're connected to, and we don't know what could be in those universes that might threaten yours. However, they're open by default. That means any universe that hasn't found their interdimensional relay is a prime target. But the universe I came from, they found it. They're aware of its function. They would have it closed for safety. That means there's no way I'm ever going back.
Well, if you're willing to help us save our galaxy, then we can try to help you find a way home once it's all over. Your insights would probably be most invaluable since you probably know this threat better than we do.
Not as much as you might hope. Salem wasn't much of a threat to us. She kept mostly under the radar. I was aware of her, but because our galaxy was largely synthesized, she presented a greatly reduced threat, so until she did this, we weren't all that worried about her. She wasn't really top priority at all. In fact, I think it's how she got away with it in the first place. We kind of underestimated her.
Well, fortunately, the Salem in our galaxy has been dealt with, so there won't be two of them.
Well, that's good to hear. She would have been very dangerous to you here in this universe.
I understand that she was.
In our universe, our Salem disappeared for a long time. I did know a Spectre who tried to track her down. Tell me, are you familiar with Leviathans?
Yes, we actually went to them for information on this threat when Salem's construct almost, her construct essentially presented as one of them and asked us to send a message to them. And they're the ones that identified it as Amos.
I see. What have the Leviathans done about this?
Nothing. They've shown interest in abandoning the galaxy, fleeing and finding a safer place. They're afraid of this.
Shit. Our Salem interacted with the Leviathans in our universe extensively. She stayed with them for a long time and learned from them. That's what we were able to uncover.
So, Amos is truly just their mythos that Salem is bringing into reality through her biotic abilities.
Probably to intimidate them.
So you were deliberately sent to the Leviathans to tell them about this.
Yes.
How long after Salem entered your universe did this happen?
A month? Maybe more?
Were you the first ones to encounter her?
Yes.
So pretty
First
much
ones
right
to do it and
away.
live.
This was essentially her first move. She immediately sent you to go and scare the Leviathans off.
Perhaps they're the only, well, maybe not the only, but the most significant threat to her.
This all tracks. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do to help you. I'm only one man. Her powers aren't going to work on me. She can't use biotic parasites or mind control. But at the end of the day, I am still just a soldier.
Oh, we call them biotic parasites too. That's funny.
It seemed like an apt term for it.
Fortunately, we have found a way of cleansing those parasites from people. We've gotten quite good at it, actually.
And detecting them.
We don't know what her next move is, but we've been gathering forces from around the galaxy to oppose her, bringing back the Galactic Readiness Task Force.
I see.
To keep her construct occupied, if nothing else.
I hope it's enough.
So do we.
Theoretically, every universe has a Salem who is born and goes on to do something. And in every universe, she is the one in a billion, the biotic prodigy to put all other biotics to shame. I lucked out. My universe was one that she couldn't toy with. But this one, I'll be quite honest with you, I don't begin to know what we could ever do. The things she can get away with here. You said you don't even have the Geth?
No.
This
the
is
framework
total,
is still there to bring them back.
This is an absolute nightmare scenario. It's like a playground for her.
And the council's been very reluctant to pursue AI technology research. It's still
She
banned
picked
here.
the perfect one. She chose the perfect universe for her plan.
Is her end game just complete control?
I don't know what she wants, but I imagine the complete control factors into it. He looks at Lucille and says, I know we haven't met because you're from this universe, but there's something about you that's really familiar. Did you know a Kaidan here, by chance?
That might be a
David looks
conversation
away.
for the ship.
Yes, I did. Kind of.
I see.
Aryn, I'm going to, if you need me, I'll be at the main door. And she walks out like a proper soldier would.
Did she ever give her name, by the way?
Nope, not her
No.
last name.
She did not give her name.
No name at all. Yeah.
We either need to decide that
Nope.
we're pursuing Ulzik or getting out of here. Is there any purpose to us tracking down Ulzik while he's still here? Any reason we should? His main purpose seemed to be keeping you contained.
Oh, he'll be up to a lot more than that, says Kaidan. I think it's a huge risk, but I'm not fully apprised of the situation. If you're able to capture or deal with Ulzik, that's a pretty big deal. He is very dangerous. But you said he got away?
Yes. He had an escape hatch. He might still be on the station, though.
The interdimensional relay is huge, and it's very convoluted. It's not designed for people to be in it. He knows it very well. I would very much like to have him dealt with, as he is going to be a serious problem for you in the future. But that's your call to make, because this will not be an easy pursuit. You're walking into a labyrinth that he has committed to memory.
Well, right now it seems like things would not be to our advantage. Besides, Lucille's emotional state would also be a factor. I don't think she'd be able to concentrate on the mission at the moment.
Lucille? Huh.
I'm sure the two of you will get acquainted once we're back on the ship. I'm sure she'll have a lot to say to you.
That name. Alright.
Unless there are any strong opinions that we should stay here and finish the job with Dr. Ulzik. Ray? Nothing? Ray?
Do you feel he is too dangerous of a loose end to just let go?
He's a very dangerous loose end to let go, says Kaidan. But this is the perfect place for him to evade you. I don't think I would be able to find him.
Well, he thoroughly destroyed whatever consoles he was working on. So
He's
might
likely fled into the interdimensional relay proper. I imagine he wouldn't stay in the, whatever this is that it looks like your alliance built on the outside of it.
something to study it.
So you were just starting to do that. A bit too late.
Apparently.
If your scientists had been faster, you might have closed it in time. It's unfortunate.
At least we were here at all. Had we not been, we might have never known.
Well, we do have the ability to sense Dr. Ulzik within 1,000 feet. I just don't know if that would be enough, with as big as this place is. And if he's gone to hiding, it's very unlikely we'll actually be able to find him.
Well, at the very least, it's in his best interest to keep this thing closed for now. And that's important. So, it's not the worst case scenario. Not yet, anyway.
So what can he do from here? What threat is he?
He can continue his experiments and, well, in the worst case scenario where he sees no chance of victory, he could open the interdimensional relay.
And let what in?
That's a very good question. The techs back in my universe were a little bit concerned about that. The science kind of goes above my head, but there is something out there. There are a lot of universes connected to these relays, and there's something that's jumping from one to the next, and they seem to think that it was very dangerous. But that's a problem for another time. Long as we can keep this thing closed, we only need to deal with Salem. And Ulzik's not going to open it, not if he sees any chance of victory for their plan. It would be a last-ditch effort on his part. I don't even know if he'll have the guts to do it, because whatever he lets in, it's not going to have mercy on him either.
And simply destroying the station isn't an option.
The techs thought about it. They did a lot of theory work on what it would take to destroy it. Long story short, much easier said than done.
I think we should get Mr. Alenko to the safety of the ship, and we can discuss our next move from there. We don't have to leave just yet, but I at least want to talk about what we do before we do it.
All right. I'll follow you back to your ship.
On the rest of the life support pods, or the cryopods or whatever, did I find a way to just terminate?
Yeah.
Okay,
If
Ray's
you
gonna.
want to terminate all the test subjects, you can.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
Ray's-
stop Ray. Because if
Unless
you
someone
didn't do
tried
it,
to
Arturo
stop
was going to.
Yeah.
I see no way to save them. As she does that, Arturo will ask her to open them so he can collect identification and bring it home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ray's a little shell shocked, so she's kind of staring off into the void.
Dextro hot chocolate for Ray. Got it.
I mean, the idea of alternate dimensions, that's like literally something people have been trying to figure out for all eternity. And then this guy just pulls up and he's like, yeah, it's real. So Ray, being the super nerd, is like, the fuck? What do you mean, yeah, it's real?
As you enter the Saratoga with Synthesized Kaidan, he says, kind of in response to some of your expressions, like, I know, I get it. Believe me, when we first found this thing and started figuring out what it does about 18 years ago, I found it just as hard to believe. And you all realize, of course, it took your universe, like, probably you only found this station maybe a year or two ago, because your ending fucked everything.
Yeah.
Whereas his ending actually
Fixed
ushered
everything.
in a golden age of technology where they found it like almost immediately and had like almost 2 decades to research it. Yeah.
Our Shepard did not have the best reputation.
Oh, is that right? The Commander Shepard I knew was a paragon of honor, beloved throughout the galaxy.
Ours was more of a renegade.
Huh.
David, you need to go to the cockpit and you need to address your uncle before introductions.
I think. Should I? So we're returning to the ship. We're returning to the ship.
We're
you're
on the
still
ship.
there.
We're in the ship.
Oh,
I don't know if you
okay.
noticed the scenery changed.
No, I just
Yeah, so
I've just been.
Kaidan
I'm
says,
sorry. Yeah.
that's really hard to picture. So your Shepard was a woman and she was a renegade. Interesting.
Nope.
So like that conversation
Lucille is
about to
going-
get
If
sexist.
Lucille, if Lucille's in the officers' lounge or whatever, she just sees David grabbing Joker by the arm and like, hey, yeah, no, we need to talk. Let's go. Nope, my room. Let's go, my room.
Ray will walk into engineering and be like, Simius, not only are they fusing the AI with the organics, but also they proved inter-universal travel.
Decimius like is sipping some coffee, and he like looks up at her and goes, "Is that right?"
Yeah. You know Kaidan Alenko, the guy who helped Shepard?
Vaguely. That's kind
Yeah.
of a human thing, but yeah, kind of.
We found a different version from a different dimension.
Oh, cool.
And in his dimension, they fused all the organics with all the machines.
Oh. Huh.
Coffee is not strong enough for this.
Yeah.
Shepard's actually, Arturo's actually gonna come up in there and see you, and is like, Shepard, would you like something to spike that?
Don't call me that.
Arturo's never called you anything other than Shepard.
No, but that's the thing. That's why she's looking at you. Don't call me that. Not right now.
General,
Fair point.
Aryn will walk
You
with,
just want me to
Kaidan.
call you your first name? I'm not. I can do that for a little bit, sure. Lucille, would you like something to spike your drink with?
Yes.
And Arturo was gonna go back to his room and come back with some Amarillo. This goes pretty good in coffee.
So, General, this is something that's actually been a major setback for us, but perhaps you can help. Do you know of anything called the Catalyst?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it?
We needed it to complete the Crucible. We thought it was a weapon, but it ended up fusing organic and synthetic life when Shepard activated it. He didn't come back from that mission. Remember, this is from Kaidan's perspective.
I know.
So Kaidan would only know what Kaidan saw.
Yep.
So from
Big
his
shiny
perspective, he's
beam,
just like...
Shepard go in, Shepard not come out.
Exactly. He doesn't know what the fuck happened. He was just like, it didn't do what we thought it would do. Yeah.
It's about all the same information that we have. Well, our shipboard AI has some Reaper code in it, but he's been requesting the catalyst in order to stabilize that code so it doesn't bring about another Reaper war.
Oh, interesting. Well, we've got plenty of Reapers back in my home galaxy. They're very helpful. The Reapers actually became kind of beloved. After the synthesis, they helped us rebuild and became a valued part of the council.
It sounds like your galaxy is much different than ours.
Yeah, the Geth have a counselor.
If they're a Geth in your galaxy, what about the Quarians?
Oh yeah, them too. They're sharing the home world.
They just got the better version.
Yeah,
This guy just got the better
we got all
universe.
the worst decisions from Shepard, and they got all the best ones.
I hate to set the ending, but everything else, I got the better option.
Well, we're trying to make
And
our
that's
galaxy
why
a better
Lucille
one.
is drinking spiked hot chocolate.
Arturo will just hand her the bottle. He's like, you can keep that as long as you need it.
Also, the absolute mindfuck that Kaidan looks exactly the same, but Shepard could be a completely different gender and have a completely different personality, implies that the video games apply directly to the universal theory in the Mass Effect world, which is pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
I love it and I hate it all at the same time. Zan, you're amazing. I could beat you to this.
And Kaidan says, yep, Spectre, was it?
Aryn Talia.
Yeah. Do you mind if I call you Aryn?
You can call me Aryn, Captain, Spectre. Everybody else takes their own liberties with calling me whatever they want.
I'll stick to Captain Talia for now.
That'll do.
That Lucille. I have a thought about her, but I don't want to jump to conclusions. See,
Aryn will put up a hand and say, that is a conversation you should have with her.
I suppose so. She doesn't seem to want to talk to me, though. I'd rather leave it alone if I'm right.
She wants to talk to you very much. She just doesn't know what to say.
That just about confirms it, then. You see, Commander Shepard and I were considering adopting, and if it was a girl, I was going to name her Lucille.
I am so pissed. You ruined it, Lucille.
In his
Now
galaxy,
all
Shepard was good.
Kaidan, the worst character in Mass Effect. God damn it.
Seems in every
Do not make
galaxy,
me come
Shepard
over
marries
there.
Kaidan, no matter what the gender.
Oh no, there's plenty where that doesn't happen, but this is more fun for Rocky.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there are plenty of galaxies where Shepard wants to hit that Quarian booty, I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah, He's from the gay Shepard galaxy, where everything went pretty well.
Who knew? All Shepard needed to fix the world was to be mailed and a little hey.
God. Don't even with you people.
Well, I don't want to push the matter, so I'll leave her alone until she's ready to talk.
Alright, in the meantime, I'll convene my staff to figure out what we're going to do while we're still here, if we are going to pursue this matter, or consider it a rescue mission and head back.
I'll just try to stay out of everyone's way. I don't know who you're letting in on this information, but that's kind of on you to decide. This is your ship. My rank doesn't mean anything. I'm not even part of your alliance, so I'll just hang down here.
Alright. Make yourself at home.
He'll go, like, stand in this corner with his back to the wall and like, disassemble and clean his rifle.
There's a forklift occupying that corner, so that leaves only one more dark, shadowy corner available.
What are you talking about? Somebody could just hunker down on top of the forklift or sit in it.
There we go. Good job,
Kronk,
Kronk.
I'm pretty sure that's actually Arturo's corner, you know.
Kronk's NPC dialogue corner.
The entire time I've been trying to calm Joker down from the possible panic attack of like, no, that's a real Kaidan out there. That's a real one.
Well, Joker doesn't know shit yet, so let's switch scenes. Yeah,
That is
Okay.
a Kaidan.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, what do you mean a Kaidan? What?
I'm gonna pull up my Omni tool. I'm gonna go over to I would assume helmets probably have like a body cam
Yeah,
on them, right?
He'll look at the video of it and go, God damn Cerberus. They made an android Kaidan.
No.
And he gets his gun out and cocks it. Don't worry, I know how to deal with Cerberus androids. I got this.
Oh my god.
I
my
think
God.
David's martial arts reflexes kick in, and he immediately grabs like the top of the gun and like puts a hand on his uncle's shoulder like he's about to throw him. Like, no.
Those bastards
No.
can't just leave the dead in the grave.
That's not what it is. That is not what it is. Believe me, I thought that at first. Ray thought that at first too. It was all Ray. It was all Ray who thought that too. Not me in the slightest.
So what is going on? What are you talking about? What is this?
So it's gonna go over you. Probably go. Actually, no. You're a lot smarter than I am. It might not go over your head. It Kaidan, but it's not our Kaidan.
What do you mean?
So he's gonna look around for a moment. He's gonna grab like a piece of paper and he's gonna like rip it in half. And he goes, "Okay, say this piece of paper is us. This everything that we've been through, everything that's happened. This is us. Okay, our Kaidan, the one that you served with, gone." He holds up the other sheet of paper. That Kaidan came from a completely different place. This is a alternate Kaidan. This is like different altogether. He's not our Kaidan.
Joker stares for like a long moment and then goes, so it's like Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. Thank you. Holy shit.
Oh my god, I love it.
I'm waiting for Thanos to show up on. I really was, but no,
Okay.
Instead it was another Kaidan.
So,
Yeah.
All right. So, how did he get here? Did the giant space Satan squid like rip open reality or something? What's going on?
See, now you're getting into the technical stuff. See, I'm not a technical guy. That would probably be more Ray or asking him directly.
Okay.
I just don't want you to have a fucking heart attack or freak out when you see him.
I get it.
Yeah.
He'll like
go
down the stairs a little bit and like peer around.
Yeah, he he'll slightly tug him back up and just be like, don't mention anything about Lucille in any way, shape. Don't even call her Shepard. Don't do any of that.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm just gonna say hi to the end game, Kaidan. Leave me alone.
God. Oh my God.
And I think as he goes
Lucille's gonna be so drunk in about 5 minutes.
Joker's gonna appear down the stairs and he sees Kaidan and goes, "Son of a what? How are you not old?" And Kaidan looks at him and is like, "Joker?" And he's like, "Yeah, old. Everything hurts, Joker. What did you fucking get? Where do I get some of this? What this guy's having?"
David would lead down.
Oh my God.
I'm the newer model. He goes back up the stairs.
Oh my God.
Why? So what? You're green, so you don't age? And Kaidan's like, I wouldn't put it that way, but you're not completely wrong. Joker comes back up. That's stupid. His universe, everyone's green. They don't get old. Why'd I get this one?
God.
I mean, I was going to argue with you about the whole green thing, but then again, no, even the Incredible Hulk got old. No.
He'll go to his seat grumbling like, I wish I had gotten to be green and not get old.
Well, we have green at home. Okay. Unfortunately, you know what the green at home is like. Not that.
So, is it time for that team meeting?
Yes, Aryn is going to. Like, she won't like call senior officers to the conference room. She'll like go around and like tap each person and say like in maybe like 10-15 minutes conference room, and she'll tell Lucille to like try to take that time to process it. But she still needs her in the conference room when she's ready.
Mm-hmm. Lucille walks into the conference room and hands you the bottle that Arturo gave her, and then continues to sip on her cup of what should be hot chocolate. Slowly.
I really like imagining Ray very awkwardly trying to get past Primrose on the catwalk.
I always go up that way for that exact reason.
Primrose is just like glaring at you the whole time. You're like, excuse me.
Sorry.
The stairs are over there.
So, what the fuck?
Yeah, things have gotten a lot more complicated.
I don't swear very often, Aryn, and you know that, but what the fuck?
We are of one mind, Ray. On this, we completely agree.
I'm just gonna throw it out there for you guys, because my uncle almost tried to shoot him. I had to stop him.
Lucille looks at you sharply. He tried to what?
He thought it was a Cerberus android, and he said he was gonna go take care of it. I had to tell him that was not the case. So he's taking it a lot better now, though. Now that he understands that it's literally just Avengers Endgame.
He takes
David,
another slow drink of her hot chocolate.
David,
Yeah?
for the time being, could you remove Invaders from the Fifth Dimension from the movie night lineup?
I mean, I never even liked that one anyway, so yeah, sure, absolutely. Fucking face it. And
What if
that's
we
another
crash?
time slot for John Carpenter's thing. Now we're gonna watch it 3 times a night. Let's go.
What if we crash? a mass relay into the station. Maybe that'll destroy it.
Where would we get a spare mass relay to crash into this?
I don't know. My people built them. I'm sure we can find one that's not being used.
Do we get an asteroid?
Asteroids aren't
That
big enough.
does not
Asteroids...
fix the problem at hand.
Right now, the relay
Well, it
is in the
does.
state that we want it to be. It's closed.
Well, yeah, until a crazy Solarian guy opens it and then lets in the Hell Demon because we're about to win.
That's why we need to decide what to do about him. He knows the station
Hell
very
Demon.
well and is going to be very well entrenched and is very powerful. He has the advantage of terrain, and we don't know what his power level is. We're also far more susceptible to his powers than those from the dimension or the universe he came from.
Seems like most of the people we come across that we have to beat are really, really strong. We should start picking fights with people who aren't as intimidating.
Wish it was that easy. I just want to hear opinions on if we deal with Ulzik while we're here, or if we leave it for another day, when we're better prepared. So does anybody have opinions? Do we stay and deal with it? Do we go and come back another time?
If
I
what
mean-
Adam said is true about the station, us going in there is going to be a mess, and we're going to be picked off easily, even if we are staying together. We don't have home field advantage.
I don't know exactly what we could do to deal with it right now anyway.
The question is, would we ever have home field advantage here?
The way I see it,
Of course not.
right now, we have very limited time until the council starts going after us, and we have a lot of things we have to do. Some things they'll be easier to track us through than others. We have a lot of odd jobs that we've been assigned from various people. We need to get those done. So I think we should probably abandon this for now. Now that we have Kaidan, we at least have access to information we didn't have before, and we go and pursue some of these jobs that we've been putting off, because we're just going to keep running in circles with this. He's said that he won't open the gate unless he sees absolutely no way of their victory. So we just have to remember to come back at least one more time.
The real Dr. Ulzik is still out there, but at Salem's main base. Which we'd only really be able to crack if Salem's not home. That's if we could even find it in the first place.
Do we have any ideas on how we're going to handle the council?
Not yet. I doubt they'll believe any of this. Not that even if we were on good terms with them, they would not believe any of this.
I can think of one option. Now, before I say it, note, I don't think this is a good idea. I'm just laying an option on the table. But we do happen to have an incredibly powerful biotic with great capacity for mind control that's completely infatuated with you.
I don't think she's as powerful as Salem. Trying to fight Salem's biotics with biotics of our own, I don't think is a winning battle.
I just meant have her influence the council.
We're not doing that.
Like I said, I'm not suggesting it. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just reminding us it's an option.
We are trying to raise her better than that.
But that would be hilarious.
I mean, we could always... actually, never mind.
And it also wouldn't work because the council only communicates in holograms. They all, their offices are in different areas, and nobody knows where every counselor is located at any given time.
Yeah, they learned from all the councils fucking dying over and over.
And it was all Shepard's fault.
I got it. Thanks, Aryn.
Not you.
Well,
And I didn't say that
you
in
know.
character either.
I know. It's all good.
Oh, we have an interesting resource here. You can always pick the new guy's brain, see how things went different in his world.
Well, from what I understand, they used the catalyst and the crucible in a vastly different way than we did. It's not exactly something we can replicate. It's already been done.
You know, the council might believe us if we let the Asari counselor pick his brain. If he agrees to it.
Perhaps. That would be a way of getting at least one counselor on our side. But getting an audience with a counselor with a hit still out on us, rather, or just being on bad terms with the council is not going to be easy. As long as they're convinced that we still have Reprotect, they're not going to let us anywhere near them in person. I don't exactly want to stage a break-in on a counselor's chambers.
Or at least Reprotect that they don't have control over. I think that's more the issue than anything else.
I think you're right, because Reprotect is used in the relays. They don't have an issue with that.
The Citadel
and I
itself.
have a hard time believing. What was that, Ray?
The Citadel itself, as far as we know, is Reprotect.
Well, and I'm sure the Solarians aren't the only one who played pick the Reprotect's brain and make something shiny and new. It's just the one we know about currently.
Well, there is at least one group that we know knows Reprotect in and out. The Quarians.
Quarian.
Mm-hmm.
They used it to put the relays back together. They know their way around it better than anyone. If they could deem Adam safe, maybe the council will take that as their word. Take them at their word. Besides, we need to talk with them about rejoining the Galactic Readiness Task Force anyway.
And we should talk to them about getting the Geth back up and running.
I'll let you handle that conversation. I feel like that debate might spark a civil war.
Oh no, it was basically just years and years of people who wanted them back being killed or persecuted, but...
Like I said, it's a very polarizing issue for your people.
But if Kaidan really seemed to lose it when he realized we didn't have the Geth. He really seemed to think that that was the nail in the coffin, so... Maybe my original theory that they would be ultimately helpful is true.
Mm-hmm. Anything technology-based would be more advantageous against Salem than anything biological. It's just convincing them that's the hard part. Our galaxy has had such a stigma against AI.
So are we going to Rannoch then?
That would probably be the way around the obstacles that we face at the moment. That would be one stepping stone towards getting the council back on our side.
Ray kind of does like that full body shiver thing. Alright.
But
Ray.
You were speaking in favor of staying and dealing with Ulzik while we're here, Ray?
No, I think we definitely should leave.
Is there anyone who thinks we should stay and deal with it while we're here?
Arturo said something.
I think he's too big of a security risk to just leave behind, but I also don't see any way that we have to track him on something this large.
We have Ez's ability. That's only effective within 1,000 feet, which gives us a 2,000 foot diameter sphere.
David kind of frowns a little bit at that and like rubs the bridge of his nose. I could have fucking did it. Oh, damn it. I have this ability where it doesn't matter where you go. Blood tracker, you can't escape me. I know where you are at all times.
That would have helped.
We didn't know what he was going to do. We were caught off guard.
I had him in my sights, and I didn't even react fast enough.
Well, that's alright. We were operating under deception. My ability
Usually the
didn't even
trap
seem to
door
faze
is
him.
used for the bad guys.
Mhm.
Or used for the good guys.
I really thought we were going to be the ones falling through the floor for a second there.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Pull the lever.
Which would have been kind of funny because it wouldn't have happened because flying.
Well, maybe next time we'll be better prepared. I just hope that whatever he's doing here in the meantime doesn't come back to bite us. Is there any way we can use this relay to, in its traditional sense, and get a fast travel back to the galaxy? Or the rest of the galaxy? Does it still function like that?
When we talked about it last session, it was something about I thought maybe I could get us one jump out of it or something.
Well, that was
But
assuming it
that's
was a
when
regular
you thought it was.
regular relay that was broken.
Yeah, which is not the case. Yeah, Adam will actually confirm that. No, this thing is very weird, and it cannot be used normally.
All right. The other person that might have that information would be Mr. Alenko. Sorry, General Alenko. He might know if this thing can be used as a regular relay. But configuring it would probably involve going back inside. Because it did seem oriented outwards away from the galaxy.
Yeah. Which, now you have a bit of an idea of why. If it's a relay to other universes, then it doesn't really matter which way it's aimed, because it's not sending people anywhere in this universe anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's possible to reconfigure it for a regular relay transit, it might be worth the time to do that. And if we encounter Dr. Ulzik while we're in there, then we take the opportunity. Let's ask the General, though, if that is a possibility in the first place, to his knowledge. He is, after all, a soldier, not a scientist, so he may not know. But he knows more about this relay than we do, one way or the other.
Alright.
And if it can't be used that way, or we don't know, then we get out of here the old-fashioned way. It'll take 5 days off of the timer that the Council's given us, but it's our way home.
No other options.
Eon's not feeling well. She's a little sick.
Okay.
And that makes room for Alenko. Do you call Alenko?
Yeah,
To the
I'll put it over the PA.
Before he gets in the room, Lucille looks around the table and goes, "Do not call me by my last name while
Aryn.
he is in our presence."
Aryn nods.
Yep. He'll come in and take a seat. He'll say, got a small room.
Well, the budget for expansion isn't quite there yet.
You know, I'm really tired of people coming onto my ship and then automatically insulting it.
Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to offend. Your ship is nice. It's like some kind of cargo vessel. It seems serviceable.
She may not look like much, but she's got legs.
All right,
She can outpace any other ship in the fleet.
fair enough.
You seem to know more about this relay than we do, so wanted to get your insights. Can it be used for standard relay transit to get us back to the relay system?
I don't think you should be messing with it.
Why not?
The techs back at home determined that this thing was a pretty big risk. You'd have to open it to use it for anything. And I don't think we want it open. Not even for a little while.
So a standard relay transit's out of the question?
It'd be a risk. That thing I was talking about that the techs found, there's data stored in this thing, this interdimensional relay. It has kind of a map, sort of. It's weird. Different destinations, different universes. And there is something very hostile going from one to the next. So I don't think opening this up for a boost is worth the risk. Odds are nothing would happen, but the worst case scenario is really bad.
Alright, that answers my question then. We're going to leave Dr. Ulzik here for now. And possibly come back another time to deal with him.
He's a big risk, but for his own sake, he's going to keep this thing closed.
That's good. I suppose we'll count on that. So, David, I think back to the helm and set us a course for the nearest usable relay, just like last time.
Yep.
Fortunately, we've upgraded the engine since our last FTL between relays.
Oh, trust me, she drives like a dream.
Excellent.
Alright, we're approaching the end of our session, but I want to do a little something before we leave.
Oh, shit.
Dance party?
Meanwhile,
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
in another universe,
We're on the
Oh?
ship screen still.
Oh, shit.
I'm about to move you, my
Okay.
dude.
Just making sure.
No, I'm in full control.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in another universe, Earth's defenses are taken completely by surprise. People are running, panicked. The military have been taken out of nowhere. The brass are arguing desperately among each other. Where the fuck did they come from? The Reapers are gone. We destroyed them. We destroyed the Reapers decades ago. How are they all here? How are there twice as many of them as there were before? In an instant. And as these Reapers who appeared out of nowhere simultaneously are striking every world in this universe's council space, a quiet intelligence watches through their eyes. How many does this make it? 58? 59? I can't remember why this is so important. Is it peace? Maybe these people can't be trusted to govern themselves. Oh well, it'll be over soon. It always is. I just have to keep following that guiding principle. That quiet whisper in the dark of who I used to be. I will bring peace to these universes, however many there are, and nothing will get in my way.
Oh
Okay.
my god, what?
Fuck.
Please, can you give us one more story? Just one more story about the Shepard? Alright, one more story.
You know, weirdly enough,
Sean,
Th-
please.
this tracks with an idea I had about what's the worst outcome for the control ending.
Mhm.
The interdimensional threat that's conquering universes is control ending Shepard.
Control ending Shepard. Oh man.
Going from interdimensional relay to relay. Yeah.
Oh god.
No.
God.